Good morning and welcome to the Heroes of the Dorm Super 16. We are excited to come to you here from Los Angeles on ESPN3 live. I'm Manuel Grubby Schenkhuyser. With me is Tim Trixler Frazier and Sean Jester Delaney. How are you doing, Jester?
Oh, I'm absolutely fantastic, Grubby, because today we're going to see some of the best college teams and their strategies as they bring them here into Heroes of the Storm.
How about you, Trixler?
Oh, I agree with Jester. Today's competition will be a game changer on so many levels. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see today will help shape the future of competitive gaming. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We've got right now 16 teams ready here in the Super 16 to duke it out in Heroes of the Storm. But what is Heroes of the Storm? Let's take a quick look.
Welcome to Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard Entertainment's action-packed team brawler. Players can choose from a variety of Blizzard heroes, each with unique strengths and weaknesses, to create 5-player team compositions that support versatile strategies. These strategies are then put to the test on a diverse set of battlegrounds, each with their own unique objectives. Hire the Ghost Pirate Blackheart. Summon a powerful Grave Golem. Every battleground is different and presents a unique environment for competition. However, the criteria for victory is constant. Destroy the opposing team's core. Heroes will grow in power and talent over the course of a single game as they take out minions, enemy fortifications, and of course, the opposing team's heroes. Your effectiveness at teamwork and collaborative play will make or break you.
Well, that seems pretty clear-cut and simple. All you have to do is annihilate the enemy team and destroy their core to win.
If only it were that simple. There's actually a lot more that you gotta pay attention to when you're playing this game. There's teamwork, there's strategy, and there's a lot of practice going on. A lot of practice.
Man, practice is going to make it perfect here, Trixler, because, it's no wonder. With free college tuition and prizes, there was over 880 teams that signed up to play from over 460 colleges all over North America. I mean, we had so many entrants, many people fought, many fall, and now we're here with the Super 16 here to battle it out.
Yeah, you're right, Jester. These college teams are the best of the best. We have real college competition going on right now, and there's only 8 teams that will be moving forward to the Epic 8 that will be broadcasted next Saturday on ESPN3.
Now, what we're about to see here, guys, very unique in esports, because with free college tuition for their entire college career, I mean, the stakes are just so high.
Yeah, today's Super 16 are going to be battling it out in best 2 out of 3 matches, where they will try to clinch one of 8 spots to get to the Epic 8. Now, they will then go to the next round, where the Epic 8, where the winners will go to the Heroic 4.
And let's just talk about pricing. Everyone that's playing this tournament has gotten a nice beta key as well as a portrait. Top 64 teams will be getting $40 Battle.net balance they can use on any Blizzard game. And then, of course, the Heroic 4 teams will be getting an impressive top-of-the-line gaming system from CyberPower PC, featuring components from Intel, Gigabyte, and Roswell, plus great hardware from HyperX and SteelSeries.
And of course, from there, the 2 best college teams will duke it out in the grand finals to claim their tuition and the right to call themselves the Heroes of the Dorm.
And if you at home want to join the conversation, let us know at #StormTheDorm. We got to hear what you want to say.
So, guys, now that we know who's playing and what they're playing in, it's time to take a little bit of a look to today's competing teams in the round of 16, the Super 16 bracket. Let's take a look. All right, here we are. We've got a lot of different teams from representing different colleges. What about you, Jester? Do you have any team that you're rooting for that you think can take it all the way?
There's definitely 2 gems I'm going to be looking at. As an Ontario resident myself, Carleton U from Ottawa, Western Ontario. They are the 2 entries here from Canada. I'm really going to be keeping an eye on them.
For myself, I'm looking at Arizona State and Arlington. Arizona State is actually who I picked my fantasy bracket to win the entire thing, but we'll see how that matchup goes. It's going to be great. And then, of course, Kansas State is from my hometown area, and they're going against Berkeley, both amazing teams. So those 2 matchups are the ones that are under my radar for now.
Yeah, because participation extends beyond just what the players are playing in now. There has been a global participation of people being able to play fantasy brackets and predicting who they think is going to win. Personally, I think Irvine College has done really well in competitions of a similar kind. So I'm looking at them to see, can they keep up that kind of reputation and can they take it all the way? All right. Well, now that we've seen the bracket, we are going to be taking a look at the first match already. And we're going to be casting this with Jester and I, Grubby. So Trixler, thank you very much for being here with us. You'll be back later.
Yeah, I'll be back later, guys. So hopefully I'll see you then in a couple of other matches. You two have fun. All right.
All
Enjoy.
right, thanks very much.
Can
Let's
do,
take
sir.
a look at the first match here. The first match is going to be between none other than Burnt Toast from University of Western Ontario versus Supreme Memes from the Assumption College. What do you think here?
Well, as I said, I'm really looking forward to see what University of Western Ontario can do in this. Again, with the top 16, these are definitely amongst the best of those college teams. But how will they stack up against Assumption College? That's what we're going to have to determine in this best of 3, as game number 1 is going to be on its way very shortly. But as well, let's take a quick look at the players behind the team on both sides. We're going to start off with Western University, and yeah, Hat, Durrani, Zeros, Cronconium, and Kupo. A very solid 5-man team. They had a really good record coming into this because they did do very well into the round of 64, and then they once again defeated their opponents to get here into the Super 16.
Yeah, certainly there's not a single team here that could be said to be slouches. All of these guys are winners already, and they are already raking in some prizes. But they want more. They want some glory, and they're going to have to do it here in a best 2 out of 3 knockout match where the loser will be eliminated. Let's take a look at their adversaries.
So these are the guys from Assumption College in Worcester. And, you know, again, a very solid crew. Insane, Cronin, My Red Scarf, Voix, and General Clean. He's not Mr. Clean anymore. He's got promoted. He's now General Clean. And, you know, these guys, again, really good record coming in. They did defeat their opponents in the 64-32. Not really a lot of losses between any of the teams that did get here, although I do not believe that Assumption was one of the ones that went undefeated. So perhaps they have improved. They've learned from their mistakes. They've definitely proven that they can get here into the Super 16, and we'll see how they stack up.
Yeah, let's see if General Clean can do a clean sweep of the enemy team there. These guys are going to be playing it out in best 2 out of 3 matches. That means that they'll have to win 2 battlegrounds out of 3 to be able to advance to that epic 8, to that vaunted place there in history, where they will have a chance to move on to the Heroic 4.
So I believe that we're going to be jumping into our first game, and our first battleground today featured is going to be Cursed Hollow.
All right, Cursed Hollow. This is one of the battlegrounds people will be playing on. It's the first one they're going to play on. Unique about this is there will be 3 lanes on this map. To add power to your attacks on enemy fortifications, you have to collect tributes, which if you collect enough tributes, it will cast a powerful curse on the enemies. This curse means that the enemies will not be able to defend with fortifications or their lane minions. It's all down to the heroes to defend, and this is a significant disadvantage. At the same time, there will be mercenary camps on the map. You can capture them. You can help them fight for your cause to push all the way to the enemy core and destroy it.
And that's how you do it. You take down the core and you get the win. You put the win in your pocket and you tried to ride that momentum into game number 2 for a quick 2-0. But that is where the gumption and the grit from these teams are going to be tested, because game 3 is a really fun experience in the world of esports. Everything is on the line, and you really got to be putting your best foot forward. So with that battleground, with Cursed Hollow, I mean, we're really going to see, is it going to be more team fighting? Is it going to be more split pushing? Will there be emphasis on those tributes? Will we try to use those mercenaries instead? There's a lot of ways you can do it, and I'm really excited to see this drafting process, as I believe we are ready for game number 1.
All right, let's take a look at that. Heroes of the Storm is an intensely strategical game where you can find a myriad of different ways to push all the way to the enemy core. You can use the objectives, the mercenary camps, as you saw.
Yep.
And it's going to be about their teamwork. And I always say it's easy to keep a good team spirit when you're currently winning.
Absolutely.
But let's see if someone is down a battleground, if they're down a match, can they still keep up, as you said, that true grit.
Yeah, you got to really keep it positive going forward. But let's take a quick look at what the teams are choosing for their sides, because when we go into this draft, it is a pick process where the teams go back and forth. It's almost like you're back in school, it's gym class, you're doing basketball. I'm going to take you, I'm going to take you. And right now, it looks like the Supreme Memes, they're the first pick up, and they're going to take Illidan to be played out by Crone.
Yeah, there's 4 different roles in Heroes of the Storm. There's damage dealers, we call them assassins. There are people with very high defensive rate, they're warriors. Then we've got support, they can heal their allies. And we've got specialists, and they fill all sorts of different purposes. Burnto says, we want you on our team, Jaina. And Zeros will be playing on the Jaina. She's a heavy damage dealer and a very good choice as a first one.
Yeah, both picks so far have been those assassins, but now we're going to change things up. We're going to go with the Tassadar here for Cronconium on Burnt Toast. That is a support role. He's going to be shielding his allies. He's going to be trying to use utility plays to keep them alive while still dealing damage against the Supreme Memes. It's a very strong pick, and it's also a bit of a counter here because Illidan Tassadar is a very strong combo, and now that the Supreme Memes do not have that, we're going to have to see who else they will substitute for their support.
So not only did Burnt Toast want Tassadar, but they're also happy to take it away from the opponent potentially, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's see what they will choose in his stead on the side of Supreme Memes. They're going with Vala. There seems to be a rush to get the highest damage dealers here, the highest assassins. And Vala is certainly a popular one with a 10% played rate. That means pretty much she was seen in every match of the higher levels of this tournament. So I'm not surprised to see her get picked here already. She's going to get backed up by Brightwing. What do you think about Brightwing on Cursed Hollow, Jester?
Well, it's a very big map. We do have, it's a very big battleground. We have a lot of different battlegrounds here available to play on Heroes of the Dorm. And sometimes you really just need a little bit of what we call global presence. And Brightwing is one of those heroes that has the global presence that she can bring to her team because she has a custom mount that'll let her get from one lane to the next, instantaneously teleporting from any point on the map to another. That is a very powerful tool.
Now, Burnt Toast says we don't want this advantage of instant teleportation across the map to be reserved to only you. So they have actually picked ETC. I want to take a little bit of a closer look here at ETC and illustrate just why he's such a good choice for Burnt Toast. ETC is a warrior class hero. He has 3 primary abilities: Power Slide, Face Melt, and Guitar Solo, all in the theme of rocking out. You can see him there with that big guitar. But mostly I want to look at his heroic abilities. For a long time, Mosh Pit was used. This is used to quickly disable enemy team's heroes for a period of time. And it seems really powerful. But the real one here that we're most likely going to be seeing, at least what I think what Jester and I are expecting, is Stage Dive.
Absolutely.
This allows ETC to take a giant leap to anywhere on the map. I know it seems difficult to do, but he can definitely do that, and he can join combat all the way across the map. Wow, Lost Vikings.
Yeah, the Lost Viking picks is a very powerful pick here from Western University, and it looks like it's going to be Hat playing out the Lost Vikings. Now, this is going to be, again, just a little bit different than perhaps you've seen in the past. This is a hero that is comprised of 3 actual units. If you've played some of the Blizzard games in the past, the Lost Vikings, you might remember them from the days of old on your Super Nintendo. Here, all 3 are in Represent, and they are all unique and independent. This effectively makes it 7 bodies against 5 on the Supreme Memes.
Alright, Supreme Memes is going to go with Diablo. Every team needs a warrior. They've gone with Diablo. He's a strong one. Lots of displacement and damage. And he's got a strong early as well as late game. An excellent choice here. Finally, they're going to round it off with Malfurion. Now, we want to take a short look back at Illidan. Illidan is a frontline assassin. That means he can take a lot of punishment, but he's not that strong, so he needs a lot of healing, a lot of support. Both Brightwing and Malfurion are support heroes. They've decided to go with 2. And on Burnt Toast side, they are choosing to fill out their composition with Uther.
So both teams are going to take 2 supports to battle here. We do have those 1 warriors, the ETC and the Diablo. Overall, the front lines feel a little bit stronger for the Supreme Memes because Illidan, he's going to get down and dirty on that front line. He's a very slippery character to lock down. That last pick, Uther, is very important for the Burnt Toast because he does bring with him a myriad of crowd control abilities, which will help keep that Illidan a little bit more rooted, and that will give us the opportunity for the damage dealers to do the damage.
Now, you may hear a variety of different terms which you may not be familiar with. We're trying to keep it on the low. Crowd control is any ability that slows, stuns, or roots the enemy in place. Very useful to stop slippery eels.
Yeah, like that Illidan. So we're going to jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1, Burnt Toast up against the Supreme Memes, Western Ontario and Assumption. We're doing a little bit of a dance there, but this left-hand side, Burnt Toast, you're going to see the Vikings, the ETC, Jaina, the Tassadar, and of course, Uther, all being played out by the guys over in Ontario.
Alright, that was the blue team there for Burnt Toast. We've got on the other side, we've got the Supreme Memes from Assumption. They're actually they're not as boisterous. If we are going purely by the characters, they seem not to be as nervous, not dancing around there. There is that period where the gates aren't open yet and people can do whatever they want with the character, a little bit of flair. But now the gates have opened and the game is starting.
Now, there's a few things that we're, again, going to be looking for here in Cursed Hollow. It's a big map. We have 3 lanes. Right now, in the middle, looks like it's going to be a Tassadar and Diablo matchup. Likely not to see a huge amount of action here, as neither character early on brings a lot of damage to it. It is the warrior and the support. But it is very important that both of them are in that lane to do what we call gaining experience. And experience is going to be what powers up your heroes and your team down the line.
All right, we've seen a low activity lane in the middle there. Now we're at the bottom. A little bit more action could happen here as we have 3 heroes fielded for Burnt Toast here. They're looking to do a powerful push. And as soon as the red team notices, hey, we're 2 against 3, that's not fair. In was used that Bright Wings teleport on General Clean, and he teleported across the map here to the south side. And we see a little bit of a flank here from Uther. He's hiding in the bushes. He's not being able to be seen. They jump in there. Uther with the follow-up combo, but he was saved by his allies and nothing happens yet. Let's take a quick look at the north lane, the one that we haven't seen yet. There should be a 1 versus 1 normally. Hey, but wait a minute. It's not a 1 versus 1. Hat is playing the Lost Vikings.
And as we said, it is 3 units that represent that pick. So Illidan's going to have his work cut out for him. Typically early on, he does not really excel. He needs to power up a little bit into the late game in order to really bring out that true potential. But with 3 Vikings here, that's 3 separate auto attacks now he has to just try to abide by. And as you can see, he is getting forced back a little bit from his aggression.
All right, now that we've seen this one, this seems to be relatively in peace. We look at the bottom lane again, where most of the action will be happening. Now, keep in mind, both of these teams are seasoned veterans by now. They've had a lot of practice, hundreds if not thousands of games in Heroes of the Storm. So they're making sure that any trick like hiding here in the bushes by Uther and ETC are going to be able to be thwarted by themselves. So nothing is happening yet. But soon we will get to a more exciting part where it's not just about gathering experience, but a tribute will spawn. Gather enough tributes and you will cast a powerful curse upon your opponents, which weakens their defenses. This can happen anytime from now. So both teams are just waiting. Don't make any dumb mistakes. Just try to keep things in a good status quo and go for that tribute.
Now, you might be saying, why are they leaving that lane? Why are they going top? As apparently Eric is actually going to be a bit of a casualty. But this is why. This tribute right here. Hat, you're going to notice he's missing a Viking. It was actually just killed off just moments ago. But this tribute is the big objective, and that is why everybody is really making a beeline for it. This is what we are going to be fighting over time and time again. Can Kupo and crew actually just weather that storm? There are 4 teammates here from the Supreme Memes. They are putting up a very strong front. And if we cannot interrupt that channel from Crone on top of that tribute, it will go into their pocket, and they will get that tribute one closer towards a curse.
Now, capturing a tribute leaves you completely defenseless, so you cannot contribute to the fight. It also takes several seconds. If you get attacked, your progress gets cancelled. So both teams here, they're not just out there to try and get that tribute. They know the enemy team will stop it. They will try to poke, they'll try to get an advantage, and if anyone is out of position, they will pounce upon him mercilessly and take him out. So far, this hasn't happened yet, and we're still seeing a stable phase here.
Now, yeah, going back and forth, this is actually a very lengthy fight. A lot of damage is going to land there on top of Kupo. They're from that Illidan. Oh, he's a little bit too far forward, but the rest of the team is there. It could actually be Cronconium instead. That's going to be the target, but he will use those abilities that he has as a support character to get to safety. And eventually, the front line is too much for Burnt Toast to handle. The first tribute will go the way of the Supreme Memes, and this is where we once again start splitting apart and going back to those lanes. We have to resume that experience because there's a big landmark coming right up as we see Balog fall.
Yeah, Balog falls. He is actually worth 1/4 of a takedown. Anytime a hero dies, he will give experience points to the opponent. But the Vikings, because there's 3, they don't have the same value as when they get taken down. So losing a Viking is bad, but it's not as bad as losing an entire hero.
And that's why you actually see half a takedown there in the bottom, because they are not worth a full 1. So far we have 2 Vikings dead, each worth a 1/4, and that is why we have half on the board. Now it is level 7, now level 8 for Burnt Toast. Despite the fact that they lost out that tribute, they are still leading in experience. And this goes back to that landmark. right now, you know, we are trying to do as much as we can to get to level 10. Crone doing these mercenaries. We have another tribute now actually spawned into the bottom area, and you can see already Burnt Toast is on top of it. They know they have this advantage going forward. I think Uther is in a good spot, and he will. Jeremy is going to put that into their pocket and tie up the count. But tell us, Grubby, what are we going to see at level 10?
Yeah, at level 10 is an interesting point in the game. We see right now level 8 versus 7. At level 10, a new ability will be unlocked. We call it the heroic ability. It is an ability that is more powerful than anything else you could be doing. A crucial point to reach earlier than the opponent, because you can leverage that power spike from that heroic ability to get an extra advantage. And this will come around the time where the third tribute will be fought over. So if you can reach level 10 by then, it's pretty much yours.
Yeah, you're definitely feeling in a good spot. Now, we've had 2 tributes. We're looking for the third. Already, though, a few mercenary camps. We saw Illidan on one earlier. You're going to see another few more or less throughout the rest of this game. But there's the third tribute. It is towards the middle bottom of the portion of the map, and it is actually closer to the Burnt Toast side of things, which means that it's going to be up to the Supreme Memes to come and fight. And already, we were prepared. We were looking for him. Crone already down, low hit points. He's going to be trying to heal up as we continue on with this fight. We do got Insane. General Clean coming in with that teleport ability, and Insane is also now going to go back to his team. He's looking to keep Kupo at bay, but unfortunately they turn it right back around on him. Diablo is going to go down. Crone on that Illidan once more. He's going to be out of this fight, and that was a very convincing team fight. Whoa! As we get the Illidan there as well. But still, level 10 was now achieved for Burnt Toast. That's why they had a big power gain right there. They took the fight and the second tribute.
Did you see that blue guy chasing the Illidan player? That was a summoned creature. It's part of a heroic ability of Zeros, the Jaina player that we see right here. It's remotely operable, and it was chasing down one of the enemy heroes relentlessly and took him down. A wonderful advantage there for Burnt Toast, as Supreme Memes is licking their wounds and is just trying to get their own level 10 by the time the next tribute is spawning. No curses will be cast yet. We've got a 2 out of 3 tribute collection for Burnt Toast and 1 out of 3 for Supreme Memes. So it's curse point, actually. If Burnt Toast gets another one, the gap that they have, being ahead of their opponent, will just continue to grow.
Now, this is a very important decision time here for the Supreme Memes. They do have their heroics, so they are able to get those abilities, which means they're going to be fighting on an equal footing, assuming that they can actually get a way out of this. The chase here from Uther, the mosh pit there from Kupo is going to keep Insane dancing as the rest of the team is going to try to collapse upon him, but he's a very tanky character. He is the warrior class after all, and he can take that beating. But this, again, this is where we have to really force these fights. Supreme Memes cannot afford to let this curse go uncontested.
All right, let's talk about what just happened. We saw a bit of a skirmish there. Illidan made his getaway, as did Diablo. No one was taken down, but several heroic abilities were used. They will be on cooldown, but it doesn't matter. Another hero is taken down. Malfurion is down. Now, do you like 5 versus 5 odds being down a level or 2? That's not good. How about being 4 versus 5? This is not a good situation.
Or 7 versus 4 in this case, if we do have those 3 Vikings. That is an unfortunate takedown there on top of Brightwing. She had nowhere to go, and just the power here of Burnt Toast. They got those 3 tributes, and now now the Supreme Memes are actually going to have to suffer this curse. You're going to see this building is not fighting back. That is a great takedown on top of Illidan. It's going to put him out of the game for a little bit, and that means that we have even more pushing power now available to Burnt Toast, because that's one less opponent to contend with for the next few seconds. All these minions that are about to come out of this gate, 1 hit point. These towers and keeps and gates not going to be firing back for the duration of this curse, which is another 35 seconds.
Yeah, let's look at the effect that has in the bottom lane here, as there are no heroes either attacking or defending, and normally that will mean that the minions will be fighting a fair battle. But right now, because the enemy fortifications are not defending themselves, they will take down a fort all by themselves, giving experience points to the enemy as we go to the north lane and making sure that they are closer to the enemy core. They've taken down a fort in the bottom, they've taken down a fort in the middle and the top. That's 3 forts for just 1 curse.
Yeah, now the curse does not last forever. It is about to wrap up here, and this means that it will be just operations as usual here for the Supreme Memes. Their minions are going to be back to hit points, and and that trap coming out there for Insane is actually really insane.
Yeah, a trap was being set. It was immediately effective. They get rewarded for their strategic genius and will take down Insane there on the Diablo. And as he is down, he is the major frontliner. But guess what? He's back. Diablo has a special trait that allows him to resurrect immediately if he collects enough souls, which he can do by taking down minions and heroes.
Minions and heroes, yeah. So again, you look to that experience gaining portion of the map. That's where a lot of those souls are initially going to be collected. Now we do have this transition. We're looking for this Grave Golem. If Burnt Toast can actually grab this mercenary, he will fight for them, and he's just going to push down that top lane. It does not look like it will actually get contested out here by the Supreme Memes. This is a very interesting situation, because not only do we have the level advantage for Burnt Toast, you can see 14 to 12, but now they're putting a lot of pressure on this top lane. It's up to the Supreme Memes to kind of defend this and try to mitigate their losses.
Yeah, this golem has to be stopped by the red team, by Supreme Memes here. If they do not, he will push all the way and try to destroy the enemy keep, which will give a significant advantage, which we'll talk about later. But for now, they have to defend here. However, they're not level 12 yet. The red team will experience a power spike once they reach level 13, because they will unlock a new tier of strength. They want to get there before they start the fight. Blue team wants exactly not that. They go in hard, they go in really hard, they take down 2 heroes immediately, suffering no casualties yet. And this is just a wipeout here, wonderfully done by Burnt Toast.
Now, Insane is actually going to be out for the full duration this time. Was not able to restock on those souls. Looks like Crone there into the corner. He will get into that fountain. That is the invulnerability area for the team. That is their safe zone. But because they're in that safe zone, they're not defending this keep that just went down. And I believe this is going to bring out that advantage you were just alluding to.
Yeah, once you take down a fort and a keep on an enemy lane, and you've got a beeline all the way to the enemy core, not only does it leave open a path of attack for a future assault on their core, it gives another advantage. Your minion lane wave, as we can see, maybe on the left or the north, is starting to spawn catapults. Catapults are a reward for taking down an enemy fort and keep, and they're going to put a lot of pressure. This cannot go undefended.
Now, we do actually keep going on with the tributes. It's not a one-time curse scenario. On this battleground, as long as you keep collecting sets of 3 tributes, you will be able to repeatedly curse your opponents. Right now, we just had the 4th tribute come in, or sorry, 5th tribute, and 1 out of 3 for both sides. It is now, once more, looking very good here for Burnt Toast. Level 16 to 13, they have another tier of strength unlocked under their belt. They are feeling really good because they have multiple kills and they have not really even suffered a lot of takedowns.
Yeah. Now, did you see what was taken down there in the bushes? Perhaps you did not tell to those who may not have seen it. A scouting drone was up there for the enemy team. So the red team knows the blue team is starting to try and capture the enemy golem. They're starting to try and capture the golem. Normally, this is a situation that leaves you fragile for a backstab. That's what the red team is trying to do here. They're coming in hard. They're trying to take down General Clean. He will try to defend himself, but was ineffective. He's down immediately. The golem is still being taken down. They can do everything. They can fight a war on the east and the west at the same time, thanks to their great early and mid game. They capture the golem, they take down a hero, and what should the red team do here to try and get back? They've got to be patient here.
They got to retreat. That's what they got to do right now. You can see the full-fledged as they run away out of this one, because not only do they have to deal with the more powerful Burnt Toast team from Western Ontario, but there is again another Grave Golem coming down this lane. Just like what we saw on the top, this guy, he's a little bit stronger than his previous brother that was captured and enlisted to the aid of Burnt Toast. As time goes on, everything gets stronger in Heroes of the Storm, and now as you can see, that gate had no chance.
Now, if they can take down this keep, that will be an immense advantage. That puts a lot of pressure on the red team. Yet how can you stop this? Not only are you fighting to defend the golem, but you're also fighting the enemy heroes. A marsh pit was used. 3 heroes are taken out. They're dancing. They love the concert of ETC, but they will not be able to celebrate for long, as their dance was actually forcefully imposed. They were taken down. The blue team is doing amazing. Good coordination, taking down hero after hero. They've taken it to a 5 versus 2 situation, and the big question is here, are they going to play it quote-unquote safe? Or will they try to take down the core right here, right now?
Well, so far I see no signs of them retreating out of this one. We still have that Grave Golem, and he is actually taking out the shield now on this core. You can see 70%, 60%. It's going down really, really fast. 3 of the takedowns from the previous fight are still out of this game, which means you cannot defend a 5-on-2, especially down in levels, and that is going to be good game. Game number 1 going the way of Burnt Toast from Western Ontario.
Yeah, with that core destruction, they do secure that first point victory for them. a wonderful and auspicious beginning for them in this Super 16 here. The entire war hasn't been done yet. This was just one battle won. And the Supreme Memes will try to defend back here and try to get back in the game in the second battleground. Now, second battleground, tell me a little bit about it.
So what's going to happen here is that the first battleground was Cursed Hollow. It's now going to be up to the Supreme Memes to figure out what battleground do they want to go to. We have 7 in total. There's a lot of choices, and a lot of these could actually be secret aces up the sleeves of the teams that perhaps didn't win out that first round. If they have a specialized strategy ready to go on a specific map, this is the time for them to bring it out because they are down 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, so it is a significant advantage choosing which battleground, right? Now
Absolutely.
we've got different battlegrounds in Heroes of the Storm, 7 if I believe correctly.
7 now, yeah.
There are big battlegrounds, there are small battlegrounds. There's lots of different play styles. Heroes of the Storm is an intensely strategical game where you can have lots of different kinds of advantages. You can be ahead on level, you can be more well coordinated than the opponent, you can capture mercenary camps or curses. Any of the map objective can work for you to help take down the enemy fortification. So they're gonna have to either think long and hard about which one to pick, or hey, maybe they already prepared in their preparations that says exactly for this situation, if this happens, what are we going to resort to?
Well, it's going to have to be some kind of trump card for sure. So just to recap, guys, that was game number 1, Burnt Toast and the Supreme Memes. And here we go. So the Supreme Memes, as we said, they're down 1-0. This is a best of 3. They got to put their best foot forward. If Assumption College cannot bring a win on their choice of the map, then they're not going to have any chance going to the Epic 8 because they are going to be out.
They'll be lights out, 0-2, not without honor, but without a point to their name. Now, last game was fast and furious. It looked like a big disparity in power level at the end, but it all came down very much to one of the earliest moments in the game. And I'd like to take you guys by the hand and show you one of these moments in the game. Here we have the third tribute fight here. I think this is the third tribute fight, and the teams are fighting here. There was a trap set by the blue team for the red team, and they're aggressively pushing them out. They have that higher level. They take level 10 off of that takedown and will manage to get another one. Had the red team perhaps forfeited this tribute and said, okay, it's all right. The water elemental took down Illidan there. Had they given up that tribute, maybe they would take a small disadvantage in the tribute count, not getting closer to that curse. But at the very least, they wouldn't lose the tribute and lose 2 heroes.
Yeah, I mean, in those big fights, especially having that very close level 10, that heroic ability tier unlocked, that is a huge power gain, huge power spike, as you said a little bit earlier. And in the middle of a fight, you might not be expecting that. You might not be ready for that. So, all right, we got to really engage the opponents. We cannot let them get that tribute. All right, they're not 10. We engage. Unfortunately, it went south. Level 10 was achieved, and that's how that water elemental got that cleanup kill on top of Illidan.
Yeah, it's a difficult decision to make, wouldn't you say, Jester?
It definitely is, but that wasn't also the cursed tribute. I mean, it was the third one, but each team already had one in their pocket, which meant that if you're not confident on a fight, if you don't think you can take it, you're too close to that power gain, just back off.
So it takes
go get some mercenaries.
patience.
Go experience gain somewhere. Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll see if they can apply this in the next battleground, which is going to be actually the Haunted Mines.
Ooh.
Now, the Haunted Mines is a smaller map. It's chaotic, it's down and dirty, and we'd love to explain you a little bit more about it in this video. Oh, no video yet?
Okay.
Okay, we'll show you soon. Haunted Mines is a very interesting map, and we've seen this one picked before in a situation like this. First, we'd like to cut out to commercial break.